guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmanuel, and I have an amazing guest, Anne, who is the technical product manager here at Sparkle. And today we're going to be picking his brains on what exactly it means to be a technical product manager. That's some big words. So, Anne, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, as you said, my name is Anne.
Yeah.
I work at Sparkle as the technical product manager. In terms of the bit about myself, I am basically a blend of pretty much every aspect of two extremes of anything you want to think of. I'm an introvert and extrovert. I like the noise, I like the silence, I like art, and I like engineering. So I try as much as possible to accept, adopt, and live through every single thing I can lay my hands on, because I just love the idea of experiences and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to assume that you maybe one day want to do like skydiving?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice. It's actually on my bucket list too. So hopefully one day you see some videos about that. Awesome. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about what it means to be a technical product manager? It sounds like a crazy concept. Technical product manager. So what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so it's like it's what I like to call the level 2 of a generic product manager, in the sense that more often than not, you find that a product manager's job is to basically be the guardian of the concept and the ideas of the company. But a technical product manager is a double pivot. You are like the fulcrum, and you're the chain that joins the business minds and the technical minds. So what that means is that you have to understand the languages that both speak perfectly and help transition that communication between all parties in order to get the best out of everyone in the team.
Wow, that's crazy. And because I've only had a very slight opportunity dealing with developers, and I can say that it's not easy.
So
And now you understand the technical state to a particular feature, but then again you also have to understand the business part. So how are you able to blend, like for example when you are giving timelines, how are you able to make sense to the managers, like top level management, and also be realistic when it comes to developers? How are you able to make balanced?
I mean, when I started my journey as a technical product manager, what I used to do was I used to shadow my teammate back in the day, who was a developer.
Okay.
And I would just sit down beside him and just watch him write code for maybe 20 minutes a day. And after spending like a month doing that, I realized I didn't understand this thing he was doing. But what that taught me was to respect the craft of every single person who I work with. And I think that's the most important thing. If you respect the person's craft, it affords your mind the luxury to actually be humble enough to learn the context of what they do, not necessarily what they do, because it's crazy. The guys I work with, they still always presume that I write code, and I can't write a single line of code in my life. I have zero understanding of code, but I understand, development architecture. I have a very, very clear understanding of big picture concepts, and this allows me, in addition to the empathy I have for the work that every individual does, fully understand what they do. It also makes it easy for them to communicate what they're trying to do with me. Which of course helps me easily communicate some of the business goals to them as well. And it also helps me communicate the constraints of the developers and technical team that I work with to the management team. So it's not just developers. I work with developers, I work with UX engineers, so I've had to go through training around design and design thinking. I work with quality assurance engineers, and I run quality assurance to a large extent by myself. I have to. So it's basically having a big picture understanding of what everybody does. It allows you to just easily communicate, empathize, and motivate them to bring out the best in individuals.
Perfect. That makes sense. There was something you said. You said that you don't know how to write a line of code. That was crazy. Like, many people have reached out to me that they want to go into like tech, and the general idea is, if I'm going to be known as a technical person, I need to be able to write standard code. So now I'm hearing that as a technical product manager, you really don't need to know how to do the actual, let's call it, manual label. So, wow, that is really interesting. I guess that is inspiring to those of you who have been wondering, can I actually become, or can I come into the tech ecosystem without knowing how to write? Thank you very much for that.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so many people have reached out to me, and they've basically, because Sparkle has been doing some pretty amazing things. We'll cover many of these in different videos, so don't worry. But Sparkle has done so many wonderful things, and so many people have reached out to me. How can they get into Sparkle? So I'm wondering, if and when Sparkle decides to hire some more technical product managers, do you have like advice that you want to give the viewers? Is there something that they should start to? Is there a particular skill they need to start building, or just to improve their chances for when the time comes?
So, for people who want to go into the product management and technical product management role, as a whole, what they need to be very conscious of is the fact that they will work with pretty much everyone in the company. It's not a role just designed for the technical team. It's a role that will require that you understand pretty much everything that goes on around you, because you will be the linchpin of everything that's being done. To get the status of the roadmap, it's you. To get the reason why things are not working, it's you. And so you have to be a people person. You start there being a people person, understanding that because everyone will rely on you, you have to make time for everyone, and also make time for your biggest client, who's your CEO, of course, because he has to also be armed with enough information to make the right decisions in your organization. So, besides that, when it comes to the competency from a technical perspective, I mean, my first degree is in engineering, yes. My second degree is in network and communications management. It's more around IT and network management, complex communications architecture, etc. But the core concept of all the things I learned in school is easily transferable, as long as you understand what is required from a product manager. So, I guess another thing that I feel like adds to my finesse is the fact that I have very, very keen interest in design thinking, which has very little to do with design as a whole. So design thinking is the concept. It's a concept that applies critical thinking into the way problems are solved. And my role within the team is to enable an environment that fosters critical thinking, which in turn fosters the ability to solve very complex problems. One of the examples of some of the very, very alternative style of thinking that we foster within the team is in the way Sparkle onboards every other application. Just provide your BVN and your date of birth and so on, secure maybe your phone number as well, which you probably lost it 2 years ago and stuff like that, because it's easier for you to buy a new SIM card than chase an old SIM card to recover it. And we thought about that, and being able to foster the sort of conversation that leads to, okay, you know what, let's use facial recognition technology. So you can imagine the process that it took to get to that point. because you have different people with different opinions
Yeah.
about what you have done, but you settle on something that actually makes sense for you. And so, at the end of the day, it's a healthy mix of a technical understanding, which is more you working with individuals to learn what they do, not really school, and also maybe a splash of training in how to solve and initiate the solution of problems.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
So you have your answer. So in the next video, we're going to interview some other awesome sparkling devs, and so just stay tuned. And you're going to learn some beautiful things. You're going to have an inside look of what we do in Sparkle, and I'm sure you're going to like develop some more trust, and you see that you definitely made the right decision. So thanks again, Anne.
My pleasure.